Hello, welcome back. For this video, I want to create a display up in the corner that's going to display how many gems I've collected. And of course, you can use this display for any other information that you might want to show, such as how many lives, how much time's left, anything like that. So the first thing that I want to do is create a new layer, and that's done down here in the Layers menu. Just in case this is gone, if you've closed it for whatever reason, I wanted to show you how to get that back. So I could say Menu, View, Bars, and then I want the Layers bar, and then I can go ahead and drag that wherever I would like it to be. Here's layer 1 where I've been working a lot, and I'm going to right click that, and let's go ahead and rename that. I'm going to call that the main game. And then I'm going to add a layer on top, and that's the HUD for the heads up display. And you want to make sure that you're working in the correct layer. So if you see down here, I can see what the active layer is, and I can switch between them because I don't want to accidentally add items to the wrong layer. So now that I'm on the HUD, I'm going to insert a new object, and it's going to be called a text. And I'm just going to say this is the gems display, because this is going to be the text box that can display how many gems I have. If I double click here, I can type the text that I want, so I'm going to have it say gems 0. In the properties bar, I can change the color of this if I wanted it to be red, or even if I want to use the dropper to say I want it to be the same color as the enemy. And then we can, oops, not selected on it right now. I can put bold, and I can change the font. And I can increase the size. There we go. Leave it with a little bit of extra room just in case I go into the double digits. I want to be able to let it expand. And so now if I push play, there it is. I have my gems. Now, one other thing that I want to show is for some reason I haven't added the scroll to behavior on my player, and that's because so far he's stayed on screen. So let's go ahead and add the scroll to. That way I can walk off the screen, and I wanted to show you what happens if my player leaves the screen. So you see my HUD stayed in the corner where it was, and what I'd like is for it to follow me. So all I have to do there is say the HUD layer, I would like this to move with the player, and that property is called the parallax. Parallax is how much it moves with the other layers. So on the HUD, I'm going to take the parallax from 100% to 100%. I'm going to change it to 0 by 0. So now that I have that, it should follow me. There we go. Now the next thing that I want is for the gems to actually increase. So the gems are a variable. I'm going to store that value in a variable. And we could make this an instance variable like we have in the past, and we could say that the gems belong to the player, or we could say that the gems are a global variable that belongs to the entire game. For this example, I'm going to say that gems is a global variable. The way that I add a global variable is on the event sheet, I'm going to say add a global variable. This is a variable called gems, and it is a number, and it starts with 0. So now when the player collides with the gem, it should destroy the gem, play the audio, and then the system should add to a global variable. It should add 1 to the gems. Now what this will do, let me show you what happens when I play it, is I'm going to grab that. You'll notice that as I'm grabbing the gems, the gems display isn't updating. And the reason for that is because we're updating the variable, but not the display. So in order to update the display, I have to say that the display, I'm going to change the text. Now what it originally said was gems 0, like that. But what I would like it to do is update with the current score. So I'm going to say gems with a space, and then I'm going to add on the current value of the gems variable. And the way I do that is I put the and symbol, and then, oops, gems. So gems in quotes, that means actually use these letters, and then gems without quotes is saying use the value of that variable. Okay, let's see how that looks. There we go.